it depends how wealthy your synagogue was. Okay. When you're, like I said, when you're going back 55, 58, 60 years ago, um, I don't remember how much it was, but an expensive seat was $180. Anything in a denomination of 18, okay, because 18 was chai. Chai means life, okay.
Mhm.
Um, but being a member, usually being a member guaranteed you a seat in the synagogue, okay. So in essence, when you were paying your dues, part of it goes to the building fund, part of it goes for whatever costs the synagogue had. They had electric bills, they had heating bills, you know, building repair.
Rabbi
But
had to go
but
on vacation.
Hebrew school was separate. Okay, I remember. And part of your dues also had to do with the seat. Okay. Um, where you sat, I don't remember, how certain people got front row seats or whatever. But I remember my college days, and the bottom line is I would always sit toward the back.
You know, right?
In lecture halls, I would always sit toward the back. Nobody wanted to ever be in the front.
You know, there's a synagogue in the house in Oceanside.
Which one? We have a few.
There are.
Yeah, you have Avoda, which is Reformed.
No, at the house. In the house, I said.
Who?
In our house.
In the house?
Your house.
Oh, that one's down by the high school.
Yeah, that
That's
guy.
that's ultra orthodox.
Yeah, that guy doesn't charge anything.
How nice.
Yeah, a lot of
But
people.
but that is ultra orthodox. You used to ask about services. It depends upon what synagogue or shul you went to. If you went to an orthodox synagogue, everything was in Hebrew except the rabbi's sermon. The rabbi's sermon was in English. But
Mhm.
if you went to a conservative synagogue, it was pretty much split between Hebrew and English. My sister and brother-in-law like to call their synagogue conservadox. Okay, it was conservative, meaning the men and women used to sit together, but it was also, a lot of the prayers were done in Hebrew. In an Orthodox synagogue, men and women sit separately.
Right.
Women aren't allowed to sit with the men. Although in your case, Felix, they might make an exception. I don't know. Uh, you know,
He'll have to sit in
for
the
a man
middle of it.
for a man who doesn't know what religion he is, I guess they'd let you sit with the women. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But and in the Reform synagogue, everybody sat together. The bulk of the prayers were in English, and there were some prayers in Hebrew. In fact, the synagogue that we belong to here in Oceanside, uh, this really threw me for a loop. If there wasn't a bar mitzvah that Saturday, they only had Friday night services. They didn't even bother to have services on Shabbos, which really surprised me. You know, I thought that a synagogue always had services
Yeah,
on
right.
Saturday, you know,
And they play a lot of music on Friday night.
and
I remember.
that was the other thing, back in the 60s, if you remember your folk music, hootenannies, the sing-alongs and everything. Well, I would
Mhm.
say for the boys, their bar mitzvahs were around Jonathan's bar mitzvah was in the year 2000, I think, or 1999. 1999? Yeah, 1999. Joshua, well, it was around then. Um, the cantor used to bring his guitar, or they would play the piano or the organ. But 55 years ago in an Orthodox synagogue, there was, oh, that would have been a sin.
Yeah.
because you're talking about an organ, you're talking about turning on electricity, you're talking about a lot of things, you know. So when you talk about religion changing with the times, that's an example, you know. Uh, look at the changes that the church is making, you know, to try to stay current with the times and keep attendance up. Pope Francis issued. I mean, it used to be politics and religion was separate, but one of the things they just said about Pope Francis is that his popularity over the last year has gone down 17% amongst Catholics, and probably the reason for that is he's getting involved with too many political things. He issued an encyclical on climate control. You know, a lot of people say, well, what kind of an expert is he? But really, he's speaking from a religious point of view that man is destroying the earth. And these are things that Republicans and ecumenical Christians don't want to hear, at least not from their religious leaders. They get enough of that from politicians. But he will be here in New York, I believe in September. So that'll really be something to see. I understand Felix already sent away for his tickets.
Yes, as the representative of the Esoteric Church of New York.
That's right. In fact, Felix already has his parking permit ready.
It's got to be some advantage to being a reverend.
That's very true.
That, and I always volunteer my services to marry any couple, gay or not, as long as it's somewhere in a warm climate and they pay for my trip. The ceremonies are free. Did you know that, Lisa? I'm legally ordained.
I know that now.
I'm legally ordained.
Oh, I knew you were legally ordained.
Yeah. $12.50 every time. Right. Yeah,
Talking about how churches get involved with stuff. There's a group of men from my church that every year around spring break, they go to Jamaica and they help out in the centers down there, the centers of the poor and the sick. And they showed us a video this past Wednesday of when they went last year. And I got to tell you, I give these guys a lot of credit and I support them for what they do. They take they take a week of their lives to go and help other people that can't help themselves. And it got me to the heart.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I mean, there were a lot of other churches there too. There was a couple of guys from a church in Long Island. Then there was the Staten Islanders, and there were there was one woman, but I don't know where she was from.
I don't know. Oh no! Okay, I thought we lost our shoulder for a second. That would have been a tragedy. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's just about time for us to go off the air, I think. Isn't it, Mark? Mark?
I don't know. What time is it? We started at 9:30.
It's 10:33.
That's true. We've been on for about an hour.
Well, we have a little bit longer. Not much.
All right. Everything seems to be working so far, I think. And Mark, I have to walk away for a minute. You want me to play a song or you want to talk?
Now play a song.
Play a song.
I agree.
All right. Let's see. Should we keep it?
How about Amen? Amen. Amen.
Should we keep it for the? No, we're gonna keep
Forget
it.
about iPluggers. Forget about iPluggers. This
What's
is a
wrong
religious
here?
show.
Jingle bell. No, we're not playing. Jingle bell.
Okay, here you go. The group's name is End of September. The song's name is Isolated.
Tell me, why did you say you believed me, then left me alone? It's just begun. Bit by bit, you're taking a hold of me. I hear you whispering lies into my mind. I'm so lost. You're my enemy, but still you're a part of me. Why have you left me with these shadows? I feel so isolated as life is passing Leave me to die here. I cannot escape my soul. I'm on my own. The struggle inside is more than I can survive. Help me surrender to myself, friend or foe. You're my enemy, but still you're a part of me. Why have you left me with these shadows? An echo in my head. I feel so isolated as life is passing by.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of September. As far as I am concerned, for me. So
I
much for
think that's
the
really not in front of